There are dozens of energy bars on the market, available at supermarkets, drugstores, even gas stations. Are they just glorified candy bars or a good way to fill some nutritional gaps in your diet? And which one should you choose? Well, here to help us sort things out with a true-false quiz is our resident food coach and registered dietitian, Cynthia Sass.
Hello.
Hi, Cynthia. Great to see you.
You too, thanks.
So there's no doubt that these energy bars are incredibly popular, and
they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. I mean, you can't go to a gas station, as we said, without finding one. But they're not all created equal, are they? They're
definitely not. Some of them sound more like a science experiment when you read the ingredient list, and some of them sound like real food.
Absolutely. So let's get into this true-false quiz and see if we can make some sense of them. The first one is that energy bars pump up your energy.
That's actually false. You would think that it would because they're called energy bars, but really when people think of something that's going to pump up their energy, they usually think of caffeine or a stimulant. That's pretty rare in these bars. There may be some made with coffee or green tea, but not typically. The reason they're called energy bars is because energy is another term for calories, and they all have calories in them. But some of them may actually make your energy plummet because they're made with a lot of added sugars, and they may wreak havoc with your blood sugar and insulin level.
So if you're looking for a boost, don't necessarily look to an energy bar,
Not
right?
necessarily. You might be better off with a piece of fruit, maybe some yogurt or some string cheese. But again, it depends on what's in that bar.
Absolutely. Now, a lot of people think that energy bars can help them lose weight.
I would say that is true if you use them correctly. So the best way to do that is to use them as a meal substitute. So for example, instead of a big bagel with cream cheese for breakfast in the morning, if you had a 200-calorie bar, you could lose 35 pounds over the course of a year by making just that one switch and no other changes to your diet.
And that would likely fill you up enough that you wouldn't miss the substitution.
Yeah, and you know what's great about these bars for that purpose in terms of a meal replacement is that they're portion controlled. So you're a lot less likely to eat 2 bars than say eat an extra serving of cereal.
That's right.
So if you have trouble with controlling your portions, it can come in handy. Or they're also portable, which is a great thing.
So bottom line is they can help you lose weight, but you've got to use them properly.
Yes.
All right, that's good. Now, on the reverse side of that coin, energy bars can make me gain weight.
That is true. So the reason why that is a lot of people add these to their diet and they don't really think of them as real food, even though they certainly are. Some of these have more calories than really what you should even have for a meal. This one, for example, has over 400 calories.
Wow.
So if you're trying to get maybe somewhere between 300 and 500 calories for a meal, it would certainly be within that range, but it wouldn't really be something that you could have in addition to a meal.
Absolutely.
Now, a lot of people do that. They'll add these as a snack and they won't really think of them as calories. My rule of thumb is you want to think about them as 100 calories per hour. And what I mean by that is if you're using this as a tie-over to your next meal, if your next meal is coming 2 hours later, this bar should have no more than 200 calories.
Right. Keep that in mind. Wow, 400 calories, I keep thinking about that. Maybe only bodybuilders.
Yes, exactly. And that's the reason the right bar for the right person is also key.
All right. Now, a lot of people are worried about allergies.
Yes.
And another sort of conception out there is that energy bars can cause allergic reactions.
That is true, and they're really notorious for being made with some of the top allergens, not only nuts, which we know are a really common allergy, but also wheat, soy, dairy products, and some of them actually even contain fish-derived ingredients. So that's where it becomes important to read that ingredient list.
Fish-derived?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I guess you do have to be incredibly careful there. Now, also people think that energy bars can be incorporated very easily into recipes, and I see you brought here a fantastic example of that.
That is true, and this is my mock cobbler. What I did is I took some fresh blueberries, I just added 1 level teaspoon of sugar in the raw, some cinnamon and nutmeg, I mashed them up, and then I took a coconut cream pie flavored Lara bar. Actually, I crumbled it up and I only put half of it on top. So I have 100 calories from the bar and we have about 50 calories from the blueberry, so it's a fairly low calorie dessert, but it's really going to take the place of something like a cobbler or a summer type of dessert. Very easy to make, so these can be a shortcut to something like a healthy snack or dessert.
Well, it looks absolutely delicious. Now, you mentioned the Lara bar. Do you have some particular favorites?
I do love the Lara bar, I have to say, because the reason why I like it as a registered dietitian is because it doesn't have any added sugar, there's no preservatives, nothing artificial there. It's just made with fruit, nuts, and seasonings. I also like bars that are made with whole soy instead of a refined soy product. And I always say that I don't put a bar in my cart unless when I read the ingredients, it contains only things I would use in my own kitchen to make real recipes from scratch.
It doesn't get a pass just because it's wrapped in plastic.
Exactly.
All right, Cynthia Sass, thank you so much for all
Thank
this
you.
great information. And for more of your health and medical questions, head to the health page at abcnews.com. We've got the answers.